Matt in San Rafael. Hi, Matt. What are you doing?
I'm headed home. I got to see the Blue Angels fly over 80 as I was headed.
Yeah, the
west.
Fleet Week stuff is nuts out there right now, isn't it, Matt?
As I was listening to Mark literally lose his mind on the radio
Brother.
Over some nobody, you should not put him on because you're just giving him credibility if you do, and he has done. That's not what I wanted to talk about. There are three things, and I'll try to be quick. One, this game means a lot more to Dallas than it does to the Niners. This is their Super Bowl. I think they're going to approach it in a very, very different way than most teams do a regular season game. I still think the Niners are going to win, but I think that is going to make it more difficult. I think the Niners are going to kind of have the same mindset in Philadelphia in December. Two, the Brock Purdy thing, all of these national media people cannot fathom the fact that everyone was wrong about him. And they can't accept and admit it to the public because not only does every team, but every media person miss Brock Purdy. The guy is like a miracle. I have no explanation for it, but I'm enjoying it, and that's where I am. The third thing, Mark, you were talking about the concert with the guys throwing the skateboard wheels. My freshman year in high school, to tell you how old I am, my second concert ever was Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon Tour at the Oakland Coliseum. My brother and I were sitting in the second row of seats, not on the floor. The two dudes in front of us partied for about an hour, and were totally out of their gourds. And midway through Ozzy's set, one of them pulls out a bottle rocket, holds it in his hand, so I had the perfect view, launches it, and Ozzy, mid-song, stops singing and ducks, and it goes over his head.
Whoa!
One of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
Oh, my gosh. Matt, thanks. People are nuts at concerts, man. Absolutely nuts at concerts. Yeah. We've seen some things. Matt did a good thing there. That helped me. I need to be more like Matt in these situations. Like, I think a lot of people find Steven Ruiz's comments funny. And just laugh it off.
Totally.
It's funny.
It is funny.
I mean, I'm not like actually mad, but it's annoying. It's annoying. Why do you do that to people?
You are actually annoyed.
Annoyed. I'm not angry. I'm annoyed.
And I've only seen you angry maybe 3 times in our 2 years together.
Yeah, that's about right.
Twice I caused it. Once was another person who was involved, and I've seen it. And your face gets a little bit red, and your full brow gets super furrowed, and you get a certain expression that's like, whoa, he really is mad. And I was like, whoa. I don't like it when you're mad at me, but if you want to get mad at Steven Ruiz on Twitter at the Steven Ruiz.
I'm not even kidding. I would ask him this. Why do you do that to people? Like, why would you know what I mean? Why would you say that about somebody who's crushing it? Why would you do that? Why would you diminish that?
Like, what is it based upon?
What a weird thing to do. You're essentially insinuating that something that has never happened in the history of the NFL is happening right now, which is the top-rated passer stinks. What a weird thing to think, let alone say out loud on a platform. That's wild. Honestly, can people be elevated? I want to make sure I'm clear here. Do I think that Brock Purdy is being elevated by his surroundings? A little bit. Of course.
Sure.
And by the way, his surroundings are being elevated by him.
Is Jared Goff being elevated by his surroundings?
To a degree, yes.
I mean, you could pick any quarterback that he has on his list, and a quarterback who is in a good situation and is playing well is going to be better than a quarterback who's in a bad situation.
Right.
Even if that quarterback is, quote, playing well, you're more likely to be more successful when you have a team that's more successful.
I am firmly of the belief that nobody achieves anything in life by themselves. I don't believe in that. Everybody has coaching or guidance or help or support at a minimum, if not actual hands-on help. So this idea that you're supposed to look a certain way, you're only a good quarterback if you kind of sort of do it by yourself. I mean, there's question number 20 for Steven. Like, okay, give me an example of who is doing that in the NFL. So who's awesome? Who's winning? And they're doing it with league average coaching, teammates, and play calling. Who's doing that?
Probably Dak Prescott, who he has ranked number 7.
You think Dak Prescott has league average talent around him? CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, Brandon Cooks, Tony Pollard, offensive line that I mean, little trouble this year, I guess, but like traditionally.
Well, what team would you say has league average talent?
That's a good question.
Tennessee?
No, I think offensively they have below league
Baltimore?
average talent. Well, Lamar is above league average, but
just around the quarterback is what I'm saying.
League average talent this year.
It's such a nebulous
maybe Seattle?
thing.
Seattle?
Yeah, a great couple of receivers.
Lucas says Washington.
2 good receivers, a couple average running backs.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like league average talent.
I just don't even know what that looks like.
Green Bay Packers.
Like a team that has a mediocre tight end, mediocre receivers, and a mediocre running back.
And he's got Jordan Love ranked ahead of Brock Purdy, too.
He's got, and I don't want to spend the entire hour
ranked above Brock
He's got Brady at 11 and Kyler Murray at 12. So if you need to dive too deep, all you have to do is look at those two guys back-to-back at 11 and 12. He's got Derek Carr ahead of him. He's got Danny Dimes ahead of him. He's got C.J. Stroud, who's having a great rookie year.
Yeah, he looks great.
Started him at 31, and now he's up to 21.
Look, Steven's he did a great job. This is a way to approach content. He is sparking emotion. He is sparking conversation. He's doing a great job. The issue for me isn't even that he wrote it. It's listening to him talk about it and thinking that he actually believes it. Like, you actually believe this?
I'm sorry. I watched the film and he's not doing anything. He's running the offense well. And I get the argument that he's a good quarterback for this system and he's the right quarterback for this system. And then I get yelled at when I rank him 25th. Here's my thing. I'm ranking these quarterbacks not based on their suitability for the Kyle Shanahan system. I'm ranking them based on what they would do in a normal offense, like a league average offense. And if we put Brock Purdy in the league average offense, this game isn't going to lead to top of the league results. The play that made me lose my mind this week was he threw a pass downfield to Brandon Ayuk over the middle of the field. It was probably 30 yards downfield. It was into double coverage. He underthrew the ball by about 10 yards. The Cardinals safety, number 34, overran the ball. He couldn't find it in the air. And then Ayuk tracked it down and caught it. And 49ers Twitter is celebrating this throw. Like when he went to throw the pass, he knew the Cardinals safety was going to overrun it. He knew it. And he knew Brandon Ayuk was going to realize it and track the ball and cut off his route short and get it. And that's why he threw it short. He did it on purpose, which is ridiculous.
No, it's not ridiculous. And in fact, no, he didn't know it. He didn't know it was going to be complete. He threw it in a spot where it might be complete or it might be incomplete, but not intercepted. He plays NFL quarterback. He has attempted well over 100 passes this year, and none of them have been picked. That tells me he knows exactly what he's doing.
Right.
He does not throw the ball in spots where the other team can catch it and run the other way. That's what he knows. He didn't know it was going to be complete. He knew that it wouldn't be picked, and he gave a really good player a shot at making a play, and he did. And that is what a good quarterback does. And I refer to that as something.
I mean, what is he even doing, Mark?
Something.
I mean, 31 incompletes over the course of 4 games. What is he even doing? Well, he's completing 72% of his passes, Steve. That's what he's doing.
That's rough, man.
And he's leading the league in rating and QBR and adjusted yards per attempt and interception percentage and all the rest of it. So what more do you want from the guy?
Let's hear from some peeps. Let's hear from some Willard and Dibs listeners. Greg in San Jose, you're on with Willard and Dibs. Hey, Greg, what's up?
Mark with a K, I'm loving your fire today. Loving the fire. I was actually having this conversation with Mark with a C over at the family reunion a couple weekends ago. What's up, Mark? This is your cousin's husband.
What's up, Greg?
And, hey.
It was amazing.
Hey, man, I just had to call in and actually we had this conversation. It was Mark with a C and then his uncle. And his uncle is a one of these Brock Purdy, anti-Brock Purdy people. And me as a Raider fan, I'm watching Brock Purdy, and I was telling him, how can you hate on this guy? He's literally the last pick of the draft. It's like bullying. You can't bully this guy because he's the last pick of the draft. And he's doing amazing. So that's what I just don't understand. Why? How can you hate on this guy? Even as a Raider fan, it doesn't make sense.
Greg, great to hear from you. And please invite all of us next time you guys are going to get together to break bread, for crying out loud.
Good to finally get a solid take from that family.
Yeah, exactly. Something other than something other than a buzzer for you.
Totally.
Takes a non-Grandy, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
No, I like.
Come on.
Like, what if we said that? Because you do get made fun of. Oh, you're a Brock stan, Homer, and Mark stays in Kyle Shanahan's guest room and all this stuff. Okay, fine. What if I turn the tables on anybody who is in Steven Ruiz's camp or even halfway there? What the hell's your problem? Like, what? Tell me another example of when you turn sports on and watch something, crush the hell out of it, and go, not really that good. Like, do you realize how lame you are? Do you realize why no one wants to invite you to a party? Do you do that? Like, I've got a buddy in the business. I'm not even going to mention his name because this is sort of like years ago. He stopped doing this. But he would always call Steph Curry a system quarterback. He did it for years. And then Steph won another championship, and I think he finally was like, okay, maybe we should stop now. It's like, bro, really? I mean, I make fun of Rob Parker. He's a good friend. But Rob does this, and he knows I think this about him. It's like, dude, Fafot, Mamote, whatever you stop.
He's the goat.
Stop showing up. Stop showing up to Amazing and saying it sucks. Stop. Why are you doing that? It's so played out.
It's a brand for many people. And if you look on TV, the hater brand has never been as strong as it is now. From your various Stephen A's to your Skips to your Nick Wrongs to even your guy, Rob Parker, being a hater it moves the needle more than, oh boy, isn't Brock Purdy great, guys? Because that, even though it's true, that is not as compelling as finding ways to bring somebody down.
The whole thing, like, look at our whole city right now. I know it takes me a minute to get there. I'm a pretty easygoing guy. But with the Giants over the last couple months, did I get there? Did I get there?
Yeah, you were a little late to the party.
Okay, fine. But let's look around at what else is going on. Is this really what you want to do? You want to show up to 49er football talk and be like, is that really your deal? Warriors, I mean, 4 titles, but, really?
Didn't win it last year.
This is who you want to be? Good Lord. It's just, it's so lazy. And it's so negative. And it's so,
It is negative.
It's so pointless.
Well,
it's flimsy.
There is a point where, and this is, the counterpoint to what you're saying, when things are going bad and it's clear that things aren't good, sometimes that's where the negativity comes to the forefront, and people who are ultra positive sometimes are slow to awaken to the reality that this thing ain't good.
Totally. I'll wear the hell out of that. But this is good. You
can't be better than 4-0 after 4 games.
You cannot come here right now. Yeah, but he hasn't won the big one. And stop. They win all the games. He completes almost all the passes.
He doesn't have him 32nd. What's your problem?
You can't.
He's got him 25.
You can't come here and rip it. It's not allowed. If they mess up, we'll be there.
He's got him ahead of 8 different quarterbacks, Mark. I don't know why you're so
my God.
stuck on this, including a guy who just threw a touchdown pass.
I don't know what the hell got in. I think 2 weeks ago, Justin was just like, you know how the Rams were like, F them picks? I think Justin was like, F them coaches.
Right.
Did you watch the first drive?
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm just going to huck it down the field on every throw.
Pretty much.
Oh, look, DJ
Bomb,
Moore's open.
sack,
bang,
bomb, touchdown.
Bang, bang, touchdown. Hope you didn't put Washington in your survivor pool because that was hot
hope you
knife.
didn't bet the under either.
Whoa. that was some hot knife butter action right there.
Totally. Let's get some of these calls in here, Mark, while you're angry.
Let's go to the overweight lover, Heavy D, in Richmond. What's up, Heavy D?
Look at you.
Gentlemen, thanks for taking my call. Longtime 49er fan since the Steve DeBerg days.
Love it.
I am very angry and pissed off about the hatred toward Brock Purdy. What does this kid need to do? He played 4 years in a big institution. He played on the NCAA national stage. This kid's got ice running through his veins. He's like Val Kilmer in Top Gun. He's making all the throws. He's staring down the meanest defenseman in the National Football League. He ain't making any mistakes. What's it going to take to show the kid some love? He's brought us farther than anybody else has in quite a long time. And I think that we need to embrace him, show him the respect, because he's going to be the guy for quite some time. Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking my call. Good night now.
Way to go, Heavy D.
Rack that guy.
Good night now. Got a Top Gun reference in there. Yeah, look, I don't even necessarily in my own mind take it there. I'm trying my butt off not to get into any legacy or lengthy conversation about Brock Purdy. I don't know if he's going to be the QB for 10 years. I don't know if he's going to win Super Bowls, and I don't know if he's going to be in the Hall of Fame someday. I don't know if he belongs in the conversation with Joe Montana. I don't know any of that. That all is going to work itself out. But come on, man, don't look at that. Do not look at 12-0. 1 incompletion. Well, what's he doing? Actually, he's actually crushing it, is what he's doing. He's crushing it.
Yeah, 12-1.
Fine.
Don't make me Steven Ruiz you, because I'm trying to.
It's either 12-0 or 13-1, right?
No, it's actually 12-1.
I know
because
you're
you
doing the
don't
start
get Miami,
thing.
and you do get Philly.
To me, yeah, that's
I know.
exact numbers.
You, it's just like with starting pitchers.
No, but
you went 4 2/3. We're going to give you the win because.
No, you can't.
Well, actually, in baseball, you can now give wins based on like not having to go 5 innings.
As a starter?
I believe so.
You might be right. I didn't know if they changed that rule. I mean, that was the rule forever. You had to go at least 5 as a starter.
Yeah.
I don't know if they changed it. They're changing a lot.
Yeah, they are changing a lot.
The bases are pizza boxes. Who knew?
In football, it doesn't really matter as much. Like QB record, like if I asked you Joe Montana's record or anybody's record, nobody knows.
I look at it more in a like, let's use our eyes type of a thing. Like he played most of the Miami game. He did not play most of the Philly game. So that matters more, but whatever.
Well,
I don't care what his record is.
If you ask Steven Ruiz and I, he's the reason they lost to Philadelphia. I mean, he did
leave.
He turned it over. So, I mean, that's a big turnover in the game. Turning point.
Crushed him.
Interesting that the Ringer has the Niners in their team power rankings ranked number 1.
Oh.
And quarterback is ranked number 25. Buffalo is ranked 2. Quarterback ranked 2. Kansas City's 3. Quarterback ranked number 1. Interesting how all these other really good teams have really good quarterbacks. So how, the Ringer, how are the Niners doing it with the 25 ranked quarterback?
No. Josh Allen isn't really doing anything.
Right.
Stephon Diggs is amazing. Where's Tua? That's my favorite comp. Where's Tua? That's the same.
He's ninth.
Okay. That's the same offensive system. And he has Usain Bolt in 4 different spots on the field. Okay? But he gets credit. He gets credit for what he does in that offense. Even though he's got a loss, he's got interceptions. By the way, he has a blowout loss. They lost by 4 touchdowns last weekend. So make it make sense.
Right.
Make it make sense.
In EPA per play, where Brock Purdy was ranked number 1,
Yeah.
Tua is ranked number 2.
Good for Tua. He's
In
fantastic.
success rate, where Brock Purdy's ranked number 1, Tua is ranked number 2. In CPOE, which is expected completion percentage above the average,
Number 5.
and Tua's number 6.
There you go.
Yet Tua is 16 spots higher than Brock Purdy.
I mean,
Make it make sense.
it does make sense, which is one of our callers a handful of minutes ago just said NFL experts, they don't want to do the same thing that husbands and wives don't want to do. They do not want to walk into the room and say, I was wrong. TJ Hushmanzada joined us a couple of weeks ago, and these are the facts.
Because he doesn't pass the eye test, he's not 6'3", doesn't have a cannon arm, he's not unathletic, but he's not extremely athletic. Those guys will always get overlooked. And this is what I hate. They'll always say for Brock Purdy, he's an overachiever. Nah, he's not an overachiever. You just evaluated him wrong. That's all that is. They'll always call him an overachiever. He's not an overachiever. He was just evaluated wrong. And so I believe you would have to see Brock play, in essence, a full season. So let's see what he can do with 17 games. I'm going to just take a guess and say in 17 games, he's probably going to go 14-3, 13-4, because I don't count the Eagles game in the play. He got hurt, although he started the game, and that's a loss on his ledger. I don't really count that, but Brock Purdy looks like he's the goods. In the 49ers, you got a guy on the second year of his deal. You can really just load up and make the team better around him because he's making minimum.
They evaluated him wrong. That's all. Only difference between...
Don't call him an overachiever. That's for sure.
Like literally the only there's two differences between Tua and Brock Purdy. One, Tua's left-handed. 2, his first-round draft pick. Literally it. He's not big. He doesn't have the size either. He doesn't look like Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. He's in the exact same system. He's got weapons flying all over the place like bogeys in the sky. But he gets all kinds of credit. Okay,